making a last minute adjustment on my end. But welcome to Skip Happens. How are you? Hopefully you've all had a great, when was the last time we talked, Deb? It's been a little bit, right?
I think it's been like a week.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
That's unusual for us, but welcome to Skip Happens. And tonight's going to be a little bit different than what you may be used to. Although it has a lot to do with country music, we're not exactly talking to an artist per se, but we're talking to somebody that's probably equally as important because this gentleman that's with us is putting on a big show. And he's been doing it for a year, 2, 3. I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to get the details here in a minute. But I want y'all to say hi to Brian Judy. And he is the founder of Freedom Jam. And Brian, how are you tonight?
Doing awesome. Thank you for having me on. And it's funny. You call me gentleman. That's
what did I call you?
Gentleman.
Oh. Well, I gotta do the right thing.
Yeah.
Really.
Be politically correct.
Yes, sir. And I'll call you sir the rest of the night.
Sir. No, but awesome. I mean, it's avenues like this and your podcast and just people talking about that makes us a success and lets us do what we love to do. So
yeah,
we'll get into that. But I want to thank you for taking your time and letting us have this platform.
Oh, please.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Brian, where are you though? Where do you live and where are you right now?
St. Louis, Missouri. So,
okay.
Yeah, the gateway to the West. So, yeah, I've been here since 2020 or 2000. What am I saying? 2020. I see it's already hit me. So, been here since 2000, and it's just it's a great city. It's believe it or not, it's a pretty big country music city, but people don't think that because they think it's the home of Nelly and all that kind of stuff. But
right,
it's a big country music city.
You're by the Arch.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so freaking cool. I've never seen it. I've seen pictures, of course, but
it's crazy.
I've never been there. So
I bungeed on it.
You what?
No, you did not.
I did.
I was gonna say.
I'm liking this guy already.
Skip would do that.
I would do.
I can't even dream about that.
No, I would do that. Absolutely.
It's pretty crazy. You get in a little. It's only probably 4 foot tall, and you sit in this little seat, and it'll take you all the way up in this little elevator. So if you're claustrophobic, watch out.
Yeah, I skydived once. That was
on my
list, and I did that. It's done. But I would probably do the bungee thing.
There you go.
We're getting older, but not really. Certain things that we need to, people think you're nuts, but I'll tell you.
Well, you better get on that one if you're going to do it. Better be soon.
Excuse me, Deb?
Well, you never know. You might have a broken leg next year or something. So.
Okay. Well,
you can still do that with a broken leg.
Yeah. Well, I'll take the broken leg over the other option. So.
Oh yeah, there's no other option.
But we're here talking to Brian tonight. Brian's got this event coming up in August, and he's got a whole slew of, and these are a lot of the artists that we talk to on Skip Happens, which is really cool. And it's a lot of the newer artists. Give us a little background about Freedom Jam and tell us how you got to where you are today.
Sure. Well, I've been involved in charity work ever since I got to St. Louis. So since about 2000, did a lot of work with. I'm a big soccer guy.
Okay.
So we did a lot of started a 3v3 tournament and some other stuff for kids that were battling cancer, and then donated that money. Worked with about 26 different families that had kids that battling cancer over the years, and unfortunately several of them have passed on, and it dwindled down to just a few left, but I still wanted to give back because that's just me. I want to give back and help people. And my real job is I'm in the building trades industry. So we're a big lumber distributor to all the lumber yards and stuff like that, building stuff. So the gentleman who actually runs the Operation Triage, which is a 501c, he's a builder here in town and does these projects for the veterans and the first responders who really need the help, be it widen doorways, building them a ramp, building PTSD rooms, etc. And so I've known him forever, being a builder, and we jumped on board, and there was a tragedy in their family, and we wanted to give back, and I said, we want to give back to the to the cause that their family loves so much.
Right.
And Matt asked me, he said, so what do you think that is? I said, I don't know. How about a country music concert? Because you guys are all country bumpkins. And he said, what do you know about country music? I said, I know about 3 people. And they were some people down in Nashville. So I asked 3, and 3 grew to 6, and 6 grew to 9. And
Wow.
last year was the first year, and in the middle of a pandemic, and we had over 600 people at the first year in the middle of a pandemic. So
yeah, that's a great start, my friend. That is
it was.
awesome. Yeah.
You know what was really cool too was we had Walker County, who is they were part of the CMA or CMT Women of Country for 2020, and they had a gig where they were making about 4 times the amount of money on the same day as Freedom Jam, and they postponed that gig to come to mine and make
Oh wow,
a lot less money. But that just shows you the country music community,
right.
and how they feel just about helping each other.
Are you a veteran?
I'm not. My dad is, but I'm not. But I know a lot of them, and I know people about PTSD and stuff, and whatever we can do to get back to help these people. They sacrifice a lot. I can't imagine being 18 years old and going over in a desert. And
I know exactly.
Can't imagine.
Nowadays, the kids are so young and doing what they're doing, and then coming home, and a lot of them are, just. I don't even know how to describe it. I am not a veteran as well, but I have a lot of friends that have been through it, and then sometimes they come back a different person. And,
absolutely.
They fight, and they protect our freedom. So you and I and Deb, and we can all do what we're doing here tonight. But sometimes, they give up a lot to provide the freedom that we have.
So, yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure people know, but there's the big talk is about, there's 22 suicides by veterans a day. That's one every 65 minutes.
Really makes you think. When you
right, man.
The numbers, but doing what you're doing, and you're raising funds to help the first responders as well as the veterans. And we're talking about first responders. We're talking about anybody that's in, from police officers to firefighters to paramedics to EMTs, AMR ambulance. I know that's who we have here. All those people are first responders. Yeah. Almost anybody nowadays, when you think about it, could be a first responder. I mean, we have our country workers. We have those people that have been in the line of I should say, don't mean to say line of fire, but they've been on the front lines. That's what I'm thinking. They've been on those lines all through this pandemic. How hard is it to put something like this together, especially because of the pandemic? I know you pretty much, when we rolled into the pandemic last year, you had everything in motion. Now you had to start during the pandemic to get ready for the show that's coming up in August. Right.
Well, if you have a passion for anything, you'll do whatever it takes to get it done. And that, I mean, it's in any business or anything. And, last year we literally started planning Freedom Jam 2020 in January, and we put the show on in August.
Wow. Oh, how were you able to do that? Was there capacity issues at that point?
Yeah, the indoor facility held about 1,000. So we sold out. I mean, we sold the 600 tickets. We were done by probably the second week of July, and we just cut off ticket sales. So for being a pandemic and all that stuff, I'd say we did okay.
That's great.
But moving to this year, I mean, we were like, that was our first year. So we asked people, we're like, do you want to do this again? So last year it was literally myself and a couple other guys, kind of part-time. So if I put in 5 hours a night, they put in, an hour a week type of thing. So it's a lot of work. It really is. But as soon as Freedom Jam 2020 was over, we had about 18 people volunteer. We've had, we've established committees, and it's actually been branched out. We've been asked to do another show in our state capital, which is Jefferson City, Missouri.
Uh-huh.
And we've been approached by Minneapolis, Minnesota, and also Houston, Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is
Amazing.
crazy. It's crazy.
That could be your new adventure. Your new job. You can retire from what you're doing and start a whole new career.
My new job that doesn't pay anything. It's great.
Oh, that's true. Now we'll have to carve out a little something for you here.
Yeah. So we're everybody that's part of Freedom Jam's 100% volunteer.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. The only costs that we have are just the hard costs, like renting a facility, the porta potties, that kind of stuff. Everything else goes to the organization and to help the veterans, first responders, and active military. So,
wow.
So, is there an umbrella, one umbrella for these different places you're donating to, or do you have to basically divvy up? You take it and just divvy it up evenly amongst these groups.
Well, currently we get calls about veterans who are in need or first responders who are in need, and we go out. Well, Matt or some of the other guys will go out and actually assess the situation, see how much it's going to cost, so on and so forth, and then they just approach it that way. But right now we've got seven jobs we're working on here in the St. Louis area. We also have our founders based in New Braunfels, Texas.
Oh, wow.
And we're building a brand new home for a Vietnam vet in New Braunfels, Texas. He went to take care of his mom, and the house was literally falling down. And they found the exact same footprint of the house that he moved into, and they rebuilt the house.
That's phenomenal.
It's a pretty emotional moment,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be. So you're taking like the funds from Freedom Jam.
Yep.
And the house doesn't cost this guy anything. And right. So, I mean, it's your heart, it's your desire. And it's kind of like, let us help you for doing what you've done for us.
And the hard thing about it is, especially with veterans and first responders, actually males in general, we don't like asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
We're too macho.
Mm-hmm.
We don't ask for directions.
I mean, look at me trying to get on the podcast.
I know.
I didn't ask for help. No,
but no, exactly for tonight. Yeah, exactly right. Well, we got there, my friend, and it didn't take all that long. You did it, and it actually worked out the opposite from what we were used to.
Yeah, crazy. But on the thing just about helping these veterans and first responders. I mean, for $100, we can literally build a ramp for a veteran who needs a ramp. Mm-hmm. Somebody that's in a wheelchair, because me working in the building industry, we get deals on wood, we donate wood, and then it's really just a matter of just a little bit of cost. For $500, we go in and we can widen every doorway in a house. And we had one veteran that was overseas, and he came back fine, but then got in a car wreck when he came back and was paralyzed.
Oh,
and had to basically live in one room because he couldn't get his wheelchair through the doorways.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So how does one get in touch with you when they're in need of something, or to get this covered for them?
Right. So we work with other organizations too. We actually just got hooked up with AMVETS. If you know those folks, they will have several people at Freedom Jam this year. So they've recognized us locally. They're recognized us at the state and national level soon. So just places like that, the VFW, American Legions, we're with other organizations who deal with veterans and first responders. So it's a lot of, hey, I know this person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we get it. And like I said, they don't raise their hand and ask. So it's got to be somebody that knows somebody type of thing.
And this is not just in Missouri, correct?
Well, Freedom Jam. So all the funds raised by Freedom Jam,
okay,
in Missouri will stay in Missouri. All the funds raised in Texas will stay in Texas. I mean, it just kind of makes sense,
So we need more Freedom Jams.
We do. Well, and the funny thing is, people ask me one of the biggest questions is, so why don't you just have a big headliner and have like 3 other artists? Because you'd sell so many tickets so much quicker. I'm like, well, that's not necessarily the goal, because you know what? If I have 12 artists come, I've got 12 foot soldiers going back to their communities and talking about these issues
Mm-hmm.
and getting people involved in their local communities.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's just as important as the mighty dollar.
You see, Brian, right there, that's your experience talking. You know that. You know that you're doing the right thing. You're not listening to what other people that have never done it before trying to tell you what to do. You know what you need to do. And by bringing in several artists, you're getting the word out there so much more.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The other great thing I love about the way you're approaching this, the artists that you're working with are all new artists or independent artists, and you're actually paving a path for them to, they probably have a desire that they do want to go out and help, and maybe not sure what they want to help, how they want to help, what organizations they want to support. You are giving them that exposure, and you're helping and teaching them, especially the younger artists. I just think that's so important today, that they learn how to give back, because some of them may not really know how to do that, but they may want to, just not know how to.
Exactly.
I want to give a shout. So one of our artists, her name's Peyton Howie, and Peyton was CMA West Coast New Entertainer of the Year, and she won a Josie Award right after Freedom Jam last year.
Nice.
For Rising Female Star. I think she's 19 now. Wow. But phenomenal, just a phenomenal artist. But she was 16 and she lived out in California, and she took up on herself to get involved in what they call the Green Light Initiative. And basically she went out to Lowe's, Home Depots, bought green light bulbs, and went around her community and gave people green light bulbs. And what that is raises awareness for veteran suicide.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I was just going to say 16 years old. Who does that at that age?
Yeah, exactly. But that's the kind of people that we reel in. I mean, and we make these relationships with them. Carly Rogers is another one. She's actually a VFW lifetime Lady Auxiliary member. She's 24, I think.
Wow. Okay.
I think it's great because these folks can carry this tradition on in many different ways.
Oh, absolutely. One of our artists, Mark Perkins, he's an active Army reservist.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are these artists giving their time, or do you actually, maybe you compensate by hotel rooms or something like that?
Well, last year, almost everything was, they just came and did it, you know, and this year, I mean, they give up a lot. 2020 was horrible, but man, they give so much that we still pay them a little bit, but it's nothing like that they would be out doing a gig,
Right.
But we get, the way we do all this stuff is we get sponsors. So, we've hooked up with some really good people in the community. It's really inexpensive advertising because we like to promote the people who help us. And it helps cover those, some of those costs. And, this year, I mean, our hard costs are going to be covered 100% by our sponsors and then some. So if we sell out the venue, which is $3,500, we'll raise over $105,000.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
That is, wow. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
Considering that we can build a ramp for $100.
There you go.
I think there's a lot of ramps you'll be building.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Brian, how do you get a hold of all these artists? How do you have a dozen artists come in? How do you do that?
Basically, I knew a few, and then you just start talking to a few, and they're like, "Hey, do you know this person? Do you know this person?" But then I do a lot of research, and there's all sorts of things. You can find them on TikTok, you can find them on Instagram, you can find them Facebook, wherever. And believe it or not, we have 72 artists interested in Freedom Jam.
Oh my Lord.
72.
And you picked 12, I think I saw. Was it 12?
Yeah, we have 12 this year.
Wow.
So they're all in the queue for
it's insane.
Future events.
Yeah.
Now, how do you find the time for this? You are full-time, you have a full-time job, you have your own obligations to whatever families, friends, whatever you have going on. How on earth do you find the time to do this? And now you're expanding.
You're right. It's just,
do you sleep?
I try to. But no, I mean, it's just like when if you have a passion for something, you make it work. And
Mhm.
you know, it has really helped this year having more people on a committee, because I can focus on sponsors, or you know, I don't have to do everything. And that's what's great. And we've got people reaching out. Last year our biggest sponsor was $2,000, and we've got a couple that are already over $5,000.
Oh,
And that was
love to hear that.
it's just the beginning. It's going to grow. It's going to continue
Mhm.
to grow. I can see all this happening.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
So Freedom Jam takes place exactly where, Brian?
It's in Eureka, Missouri, so it's about 5 miles from Six Flags.
Okay.
Probably about 20 miles from downtown St. Louis.
Mhm.
And it's out in it's called Brookdale Farms, and it's a farm, and the stage will be right in front of some silos.
I love
Is
it.
this where you had it last year?
No, we had it indoors last year, just at a local bar.
Oh,
with a huge stage that's called Diamond Music Hall, and
Mhm.
it was great, but we just outgrew it already. You know,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know,
If somebody wanted to find out more information, we have somebody watching this and they're really interested in maybe attending or getting more info. Where can they go? To Facebook? You have a website?
sure, you can actually go to, if you go to the charity page is really good. So if you go to www.operationtriage.org, you could scroll down and there's a link to Freedom Jam and Eventbrite, and it has videos, it has pictures of all of our artists, it has everything right there. You can buy tickets, you can be a sponsor, you can do whatever you want.
Great.
Plus, you can learn about the organization and some of the cool stuff we do. Or you can go to Facebook, and it's Freedom Jam 2021 on Facebook. Same thing on Instagram. So yeah, you can find us anywhere, or any of the artists are putting links up to.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
can I ask, how did you come up with the name Freedom Jam?
It was just a whims, because we were originally thinking something more countrified and boots and that kind of stuff, and we just thought, you know what, we're doing this for the veterans, and we're doing country music, so hey, Freedom Jam it is. And it just
Worked.
it was a natural fit. It was like, okay, that's what we knew. That once we said it, we knew it.
Mhm. Mhm. God, I love this idea. And I'm so glad we're getting a chance to catch up with you, the man that's putting all this together, and and what it takes to do something like this, especially now doing an outside event. If I'm not, I mean, there's even a lot more to it.
Right.
Logistics. I mean, now you got to obviously you got to have a stage, you got to have some covering for the stage, you got to have a sound system, a front end, you got to have a back end, you got to have all that. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, there is a lot of work, but the city of Eureka was awesome. They actually donated the stage.
Very nice. Okay.
Which was phenomenal. And then we have a great sound guy joining us. His name's Todd Dom. People are just jumping in because they want to be part of this, and all the way from artists to volunteers to the workers to the facility. We're going to have about 2,000 flags leading from the intersection of two interstates all the way to the event, and then out in the middle of the field is going to be 500 flags staked out in the field. So it'll be a cool drone shot if anybody knows it, if anybody has a drone. Yeah.
Wow. Now all you need is a flyover.
Well, we're working on it. Somebody just volunteered today that has a pilot's license, said they could fly over and even put one of the tail banners on it that said "Welcome to Freedom Jam." So,
oh my God.
Which is crazy. This started out as like a Friday night 3-hour concert, and it's just it is where it is now.
That's great. People are so excited about it.
We have 60 veterans from Minnesota. The VFW up there, the state commander actually chartered a bus, and we gave them 60 tickets, and they're hopping on a bus and coming down here.
Wow.
60 veterans.
Very nice. It's so good that you do that too. Freedom Jam. Now, do you own that name so nobody else can take this and make
it's in the works now.
Okay.
So
all right.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I like it. You're onto something, Brian. You are definitely onto something. And getting these artists, and like I said, you're not talking about an A artist. You're not talking about, you've got a lot of smaller artists and a lot of these independents. And I know, I know, and I know Deb knows, but for those watching, a lot of these independent artists are just as good, and sometimes
Absolutely.
give a little bit more, and
Mhm.
for them to give up, and whatever they're doing to come and be a part of Freedom Jam. Man, I would be ever so devoted to these artists for doing that. It's a win. It's a win for everybody.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Matter of fact, I don't know if you know Alejandro Medina. He was the bass player for Riley Green.
Okay.
And we've been talking to Alejandro, and he's actually decided he's going to come up and he's going to be a part of this Freedom Jam. We got something really pretty cool, special coming up. But it's people like that. They don't have to come. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But the really cool thing is you're exactly right. These artists, just like Carly Rogers, she has 2 gold records.
Mhm. 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 Yeah.
That's talent. That's talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's all talent.
Absolutely.
All talent from top to bottom, which is cool. And it's Freedom Jam. The date is in August, right? It's like towards, I don't have it up here in front of me.
August 28th.
28th, yeah.
There you go.
28th.
Wow.
Yeah, it's we're starting at 11 in the morning, and Ryan Daniel will finish up about 10:30 at night.
Wow. Well, so what are you talking about? Maybe an hour set? What is it?
Yeah, they're about an hour set in between each one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's going to be crazy. I mean, and we're more than just a concert. So you saw you saw this
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
the 3 Rangers. So
Stop waving that in front of me.
well,
Mhm.
these guys are so cool, man. They we hooked up with them just this year, and they're the guys who the movie Black Hawk Down.
Mhm.
It was about them.
Oh wow.
And these Rangers that fought in Mogadishu will be at Freedom Jam.
Wow.
They'll be signing their book, which is Black Hawk Down, even though they don't want to read it, because they I mean literally they've lived it, and
Right. Right.
but they're we got they're going to be promoting their whiskey, and they are going to be signing books and then donating the proceeds back to Operation Triage. So it's a lot more than it is a concert, but there's a lot more. The U.S. Army is bringing a full semi trailer with flight simulators and other. It's crazy. Like I said, it started out as a 3-hour concert last year, and now it's
a whole day event.
now it's crazy.
Do you have food trucks there? How do you do food?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got food trucks, and we actually just had a big RV company donate 2 30-foot RVs for our artists to kind of hang out in and chill.
Wow.
So people are getting it, and
Mhm.
once the big thing is you just have to let people know about it,
Mhm.
and if you have posters and stuff like that, they'll look at it and they'll be like, but I've never heard of any of these people. That's the biggest thing you hear. And then
Right.
I have to pull them aside and I'd be like, well, let's go listen to them. Come on.
Right.
And we listen to them. And this is another thing, tickets are only $30 for general admission for 11 and a half
Oh
hours.
my gosh.
I know.
$30. $50 gets you a VIP ticket, gets you sitting up front,
Mhm.
2 drinks, and a fast
Mhm.
pass to meet and greet. So
And $50 to spend on a ticket for a day is nothing.
it's
Seriously.
very inexpensive. It's crazy. And it was funny because somebody had approached me and said, $30, I want to come, but $30 is kind of expensive. And by the end, I sold 2 VIP tickets.
Mhm.
Wow.
Well, a regular concert ticket is, bare minimum like $75, right? For the
Yeah.
So to get this,
But we want people to be able to afford to bring their families.
right?
That's
the
what we
goal.
want, because exactly. And we do donate a bunch of tickets to first responders and vets. Last year we had 136 veterans and first responders actually attend the event for free. We're just like, you don't have to pay anything, just come here.
Right.
That's great.
That is great.
And what's cool is like there's one officer he was actually ambushed, and he was shot in the back of the neck, and he's paralyzed and he's in a wheelchair, but he has developed this relationship with Molly Lovett, who is one of our artists. And anytime she's in town, because she moved to Nashville, but when she's in town, he'll go see her, and they've just developed this friendship that is it's just awesome. It's crazy to see.
You know, the more you talk, the bigger this is. It just keeps, I mean, you've got so much going on. I mean, from everything from the food to the planning of the event, you've got a full-time job on top of a full-time job.
Mhm.
You got a family as well. So it's wow, it's just amazing what you're doing, Brian. This whole Freedom Jam concept is phenomenal. Phenomenal. So
Wow.
You know, we encourage people that are interested in doing something like it, do it, because
mhm.
you almost feel guilty because you're doing something really cool, you know,
Mhm.
but you're giving back, and it's almost like a guilty
Right,
pleasure or something. You know what I mean?
right.
Well,
But
that's the
it's
thing. You're having so much fun with it. And like you said,
oh
you're
yeah,
not getting paid to do it, but you're having a ball doing it and your heart is being fulfilled by being able to give back to your community and to people that really need it. I mean, that's the way it should be. Really.
yeah.
Mhm.
I love it.
Wow.
Man, I love it. So it's
So
really it's a great event. Go ahead, Deb.
no, no, I'm sorry. I just wanted you to just recap the different location after this one is set up. Are the other ones all set up or they're in process?
They're in the process. So originally, our Jeff City one was supposed to be 1 month after Freedom Jam, but it was at a brand new amphitheater, and the construction is not quite done yet. Obviously with some stuff. So, but then the other ones we're looking at, 2020, 2022. So,
Oh, okay. Great.
Wow.
yeah.
Brian, this is cool. I want to thank you for joining us here tonight for a half hour or so and actually chatting about what you have going with Freedom Jam, because this is something I've heard about it. I know you and I have been like on Facebook a little bit. I've seen the posters you've been posting and the stuff on social media, and it's just really, it's caught my attention. And then I know you had to like track me down to get on the
It's
podcast.
all good.
It was crazy though, because we have a lot going on and we have a lot in common with the newer artists and all that. Let me ask you, have you become a country music fan?
Oh, I've always been a country music fan. So yeah, it's it's in my blood. So, but
It's
then the one thing that I didn't really talk about that I want to mention it just because it's so important. Our headliner this year is a 10-year Air Force veteran.
oh wow.
Our headliner,
That's Ryan, right? Wasn't it?
Ryan Daniel. So Ryan, he is just phenomenal. He just had #1 hit Camo on the top 100 chart,
Mhm.
and he's releasing his new album right now. And his band on that was Three Doors Down.
Really?
Oh, very
I
cool.
had no idea about that. I've heard of Ryan before, but I did not know that the band was Three Doors Down.
Yeah, you need to meet him. Have him on your show, because I'm telling you, this guy is legit and just a huge heart.
Yeah, we'll definitely track him down. We'd like to track down a lot of the artists that you're going to have. I know we've talked to Dallas before. Dallas is a good friend of ours. She's been on a couple of times, and love her. She's awesome. But some of the other artists we have not had the chance to talk to as of yet. But believe me, we will.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and they'll jump at it. So
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. So again, if somebody wants to find out information, they can go to the website, which is what again? www.
operationtriage.org,
Okay.
or they can go to Facebook, or you can even go to Eventbrite and just search Freedom Jam 2021, and you'll find it there also.
There you
There's
go.
lots of places, or you can just look up Brian Judy on Facebook, and you'll see it like every 5 minutes.
I did that. I saw it every other one. It was Brian Judy Freedom Jam. So that's a good thing. That's a great thing. Social media, I tell you, it's your best friend doing something like this. So really works.
yeah.
Well. So Brian, it's pretty cool, man. I really look forward to this, and I wish we could be there. I know you extended an invite for us to come out and do the podcast. However, I have a wedding that weekend. I can tell you right now, and Brian just disappeared.
No, I'm back.
Oh,
I'm here.
okay, you're
He's
there.
here.
There you are. Okay. But I do have a wedding that weekend, so we're unable. Deb and I actually talked about it. It's like, is there a way that we can do this? And I have a wedding that weekend that I got to work. It's one of those. So
I got you.
Yeah.
You'll be there in spirit.
I will
Well,
be there in spirit.
We will definitely get to one of these events for sure. For
Well,
sure.
we appreciate it.
And if we do something like that in the Northeast here, if we do something like that, we'll definitely send an invite out to you.
You know, and we have artists come. Annie Brobst is from Boston. You know, we got Stephanie Ryan from. She was scheduled for the Jeff City show. So we got people up in that neck of the woods, and
Very
Like I
cool.
said,
Very cool.
matter of making it happen.
Can't do enough for our vets and our first responders, and this is just another way of reaching out in a good way and just helping where needed. And we know it goes to a great cause. Brian, you've been awesome. Thanks for the great information tonight, telling us about
No
free.
problem.
Hopefully our viewers and maybe down the road somebody could be watching this after the fact. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's always going to be there. I urge you to take this and share it as well, Brian, so everybody can hear everything that you've been through and all the logistics that you're doing and what's going on. And is there anything else that you feel that maybe I didn't ask and I should have?
No, I think you really touched it, but all I can do is encourage people just to get involved in your own communities. There's so many different ways that you can help, and there's organizations just like people I work with didn't even know about Freedom Jam, and how much do I talk about it?
Yeah,
come on.
Well, so, maybe listen to you.
I know it's just crazy though, because people kind of just stay in their own little world, but just get involved. That's all I can say. Reach out to your VFWs, your American Legions, anything like that.
Yeah,
just in the hand.
Hey, let us ask. I want to ask you, Deb and I. How is all the restrictions and all this? How's it going in Missouri? Here in New York, we seem to be opening up a little bit more. I know there's other states that are wide open.
We're not totally 100% wide open yet, but we're getting there. St. Louis had a ton of vaccines come in. So I think that's even opened it up more. We're good because we're on a huge farm, lots of space, outdoors. It's
do you have to worry about the vaccine or having a negative test before you go to this?
Nope.
All because it's outdoors.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And one thing is the city of Eureka, which is where it's being held. We have so much support from the fire, the police department there, the EMTs, everybody. They are 100% on board and backing us. So it's kind of funny because the gentleman who owns Brookdale Farms is a retired police officer.
Nice.
And they told me, they said, Eureka's about a city of about 10,000. And they said, you better start selling tickets because the city of Eureka will buy them all up if you don't. Because it's one of those things where they were like, I was talking to one guy, he said, we could have an apple eating event out here and people would show up who don't like apples.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Just because it's a big community event.
Yeah. It's
awesome.
A lot of support there.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the perfect place for us.
That's excellent.
So in each city, do you have to get a permit from the city in order to hold an event like this?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. You have to. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like Brookdale Farms. Brookdale Farms is carrying the permit for their location, but if you have something else, there's all kind of contracts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not too hard to do.
Yeah. And
we'll be calling you when we're ready to do our own little festival.
Hey. I'm all in about helping. So
what time are you available tomorrow?
I just fly out.
Well,
now we lost them.
What a great event! They are doing Freedom Jam, and this is something I know here where we are in the Northeast until Brian comes back here. But we have Operation Northern Comfort, and they do a lot of the building of ramps. They help out the veterans and the first responders. They've been building desks for the kids that were stuck at home, homeschooling and stuff like that. But they don't do anything like this. They do what they call the Crawfish Festival, which is now going to be entirely different all because of the pandemic. This is a great opportunity, and I think we need to look at this seriously for this area. And somebody needs to maybe get a hold of Operation Northern Comfort, or you and I can maybe with Skip Happens and you with the Country Music Fan Club, that we can maybe establish a way of bringing some of these artists in and doing something like this and giving back to the community that we live in and the community that we love. So.
Oh, absolutely. And he maximizes his resources.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. I'm just waiting for him to pop back on here. He was on his iPhone, which it's like
a lot of times people lose their charge. All of a sudden their battery dies and they're running around trying to find a accord. So
Yelling for a charger. We all know how that goes. But it's great.
so.
Yeah, so we got a lot of good stuff coming down. I know here on Skip Happens, along with Deb from the Country Music Fan Club, coming up next week. We've got the 22nd. We have an artist. His name's Stu Pendleton. I urge you to look him up online. If you go to Facebook, or better yet, go to YouTube, search his videos. You're gonna love this guy. His name's Stu Pendleton, and pretty upbeat and a whole lot of fun. So that'll be coming up on the 22nd. I know we got the ACMs coming up pretty soon, and we're all looking for.
I will be there for them.
There you go. See, this is more. A lot of people watch the podcast, and they think we're just. Yeah, I'm in my studio. You're in your living room, but actually, you're in Nashville a lot, and that's what a lot of people don't realize, that we do have those connections. And I wasn't able to go this year because of the pandemic, but still, because you have a business there, you do.
What's great is now that things are opening up, the companies there are now open to having audiences there. So it's great. 2021 is turning around here. So we're very excited about that.
Well, we urge you to, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed to Skip Happens on YouTube, click the subscribe button. And also, we want you to go to the official CMFC.
Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah. and Instagram. Check us out. You did good. You didn't get tongue twisted that time.
No, almost though, but I did it like one letter at a time.
I do the same thing, so you're good.
Like the official CMFC.
I do the same thing.
It's like, okay, I got it right. Yeah, okay.
Well, since so he may be a few minutes, I guess we could just let our viewers know to check out his website at operationtriage.org. And possibly, if you can't make it to that event, just send in a donation, because it's all going to a good cause. It is. And hopefully we can get more of these freedom jams in and around the country. And please share this video. It's very important to our first responders and, of course, to our veterans. So help is there if you need it. Just reach out, grab it, and use it. So, Deb, it's good seeing you again. And we'll be in touch with Brian Judy here. I'm sure he'll text me here in a few minutes. But like Deb said, make sure you check it out. I want you all to have a good night. Deb, you're awesome. And hopefully we'll see you soon. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
And your living room looks great. All right.
Oh, thanks.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.